Okay, so welcome everybody and thank you for coming. We're going to start off the Varta right now. So Vikalp is a series that began in April 2020, right after the pandemic began spread, to bring awareness from the grassroots and make it accessible for all. There were a lot of voices coming in from the rural areas who were coping with COVID-19. And we saw very novel efforts made from the alternatives, giving light to alternative action taken by community organizations and individuals who were trying to tackle the draconian impositions that took place without sufficient notice. In light of these extreme circumstances and uncertainty, we saw how strength lied in local mechanisms of food, communication, governance, etc. And in this series, we have spoken about many alternatives from agriculture to health, education, and self-governance. Each of these stories share with us a certain resilience of the alternatives in the face of an unforeseen problem like COVID-19. During August 2021, we reopened the series in effort to further document the work done during the deadlier second wave that had reached the rural areas, which had been relatively less effective. Um, and Rima, you can go to the next slide. Yeah. So Vikalpata is a part of Vikalp Sangam, and this is a process that was initiated in 2014 in recognition of the fact that we are currently facing multiple global crises. The destruction of nature, biodiversity, climate crisis, and inequality, and coupled with marginalization and loss of livelihood, and these spaces were linked to each, like all these crises were linked to each other. And next slide. However, as corporations and governments are failing us, people, movements, individuals, communities, civil societies, organizations, local or localized governments that have been persistently doing their job not only to resist the forces of oppression, unsustainability, and exploitation that are causing these problems, but also to create diverse and very grounded alternatives for meeting people's needs and aspirations in a way that create parity. The next slide. Yeah, the Vikalp Sangam process has been trying to bring together movements, organizations, Gram Sabhas, civil societies, and individuals who have been working on the field to come together to explore and exchange ideas with each other and create a critical mass for change and to do more collective advocacy and visioning for a better world. We do so in different forms. Next slide, Rima. The next slide, yeah. Yeah, we do so in different forms. And one of them is a physical Sangam based on regional level or thematic level. And we've had 20 of them, and it only stopped before the pandemic came to rise. And like we're hoping that it'll open up back soon. And we're having one Ladakh Vikalp Sangam right now. And it's of course a small number, but we've started them back up right now. So that's very exciting. And we come together on various topics like food, democracy, or even just like a look at, as I said, regional level. These groups have have been working on an evolving framework for transformation. And we also, next slide. We also document these stories of our alternatives on our website, vikalpsangam.org, that you can see on the screen, which is currently over 2,000 stories, case studies, perspectives, and resources. Next slide. So right now, Vikalp Sangam has just started a new initiative that is a collective non-hierarchical platform that initiated in June 2020 to facilitate dignified, as a result of the mass exodus that was happening. A lot of the members were wanted to talk about facilitating dignified livelihoods, workers' rights, and economic democracy in India. It was a response to the severe economic crisis faced by like the vulnerable communities and individual citizens in the country due to the COVID-19 pandemic. And the vision of Vikalp Sutra is to promote community resilience based on the principles of dignity, justice, equity, peace, and ecological sustainability, compromising of civil society, community institutions, local government bodies, and other support groups and networks. This platform is aiming to facilitate vulnerable communities and individuals to exercise their agency in claiming inalienable rights and values. If any of you is interested in any of these, the links will be provided. These are some of our past Vartas that we've had, which is the farmers market. As I mentioned earlier, we've had varied Vartas. And you can see from this list that there are several different types of topics that we've covered that we have on our YouTube page, and you can visit the past ones. Right now, I'm going to pass on I would like to know if anybody would like the Varta to happen in Hindi, because then we'll have to, if anyone is less comfortable in English and would like Hindi to be spoken, can please indicate so in the chat. And okay, so the next thing, I would like to pass it on to Shruti now, who's a part of Vikalp Sangam and Kalpavriksh, and she has been, and she also is a part of ICCA Consortium, with whom we're collaboratively doing this Vikalp Varta. Yeah, passing it on to you now.
Thank you, Asudha. So quickly, I'm just going to... So a little bit about the ICCA Consortium is that the ICCA Consortium is a membership-based process which recognizes which recognizes and supports the various community conserved areas, which is as an alternative approach to the mainstream exclusionary conservation that we see today. And therefore, we felt that this collaboration is ideal because we are today, the talk we have with Purnimaji is going to be talking about how communities can be included into conservation, owned and community-based conservation. So some of the areas of support under ICCA Consortium includes documentation and mapping, and empowering and defending these territories of life through legal and policy support, and building capacities of these ICCAs with various things like governance and management planning, livelihood enhancement, etc., etc. Sorry. So a little bit about the consortium within South Asia is that it was something which got organized in 2019, where people came together and there were various themes that were built inside the ICC Consortium South Asia, which aimed at looking at outreach, networking, documentation, mapping, knowledge generation, livelihood support, the various things under ICCA South Asia. Now, within that, we are also developing a map of the various community conserved areas in South Asia, particularly India, and where the communities themselves can share, exchange, and publish information. With regards to the webinar series, which is a collaboration that we have, this webinar series is also with the CCA South Asia webinar series was to focus on the various community conservation initiatives within the region and how we can share this to the larger world. So with that, I'm going to stop the introduction and introduce the speaker today, who I'm quite excited about. It's Dr. Purnima Devi Burman. She's popularly known as the Hargila Baido locally and Stork sister globally, and she's a conservation biologist of India based in Guwahati, Assam. She works with the NGO Aranya as a biologist. She's been pioneering a community women conservation group called Hargila Army, an all rural women army team in villages in Assam. With the support of Hargila Army, Purnimaji has included the birds into tradition, culture amongst community. So, without further ado, Purnimaji, and I'm quite glad to also have others who are part of the Hargila Army today. And over to you, Purnimaji.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Shruti, for your kind introduction, and thank you so much to all the organizers, all the members for giving me this opportunity for this great platform. I'm really honored, and more than that, I think our board is honored and our community members. I think this is happening first time that at my home today we have Hargila Army who are going to be speakers. So this means a lot for me. So I'd like to show, I'll show our Hargila Army. A few of them could come today. So yeah, they are with me. I'm so excited. So yeah, so I think you could see. Thank you so much. So yeah, thank you. So so I'd like to share my screen if you allow, right?
Yes, Purnamaji.
Am I still audible?
Yeah.
Everything is fine, right? The screen and
Yes, it works.
okay. So yeah, thank you once again. I'm really honored and good morning to all of you. And so first slide, I'm I'm really excited to show this because it was a mascot for our road safety in Kamrup District administration. So yeah, so this mascot was trying to tell everyone I'm the bone swallow or something like that. So like we are working for this bird called Hargila, and yeah, so I have the next slide. I'm trying to move my presentation. It's not, yeah, okay. So many of you might not have seen this bird. So it's such a huge bird, almost about my size, and many of you must be wondering who is this giant creature is. And I have already shown you one mascot and big statue. So which was trying to tell that I am the bone swallowers. Yes, this bird is locally called as Hargila, and it is called Greater Adjutant Stork. Adjutant means like it works like military officer. And so then coming to again Hargila. Hargila is a local word, and it's a combination of two words, har plus gila, means bone swallowers. And the name itself tells that it's a scavenger bird, and here the problem lies. This bird is treated as bad omen, a disease-carrying pest, because they are scavenger bird. But here their importance lies. So I'm just today I'd like to present our entire story within this limited time, and I'd like to share our journey, and we have our Hargila Army who would like to share. And so how we are working with people, we are working with communities, and communities are the key to protect our wildlife, our species. If they become the forefront leaders, everything changes. They can change the world. So today, I'd like to, with this presentation and with your effort, I really appreciate the efforts you are doing to highlight our communities. So thanks a lot to Kalpabrix for this. So before that, I'd like to share a story. What happened 13 years ago? Actually, 13 years ago, I was a desperate PhD student only. I didn't know what is conservation. I have a deep connection with this bird and other birds since my childhood and during my masters and after my masters. I wanted to do my PhD on this bird and to pursue my career as an academician or a scientist. But an incident changed my life. I landed in a village. An incident changed my life, and my PhD got a backseat. So what is that incident? Actually, and at that time, I was a mother of two babies, 2 years and half old. They were twins, and I was at home only. And then my guide, one of my guide, he advised me to prepare my synopsis, and I was just preparing my synopsis, and so then one day actually I got a call from a village, and I landed there. And I had a life-changing encounter with a person who was cutting down a nesting tree. And that person actually, when he cut down the nesting, I was there and I was shocked to see that 9 nests fell down, and many babies fell down. You can see how cute their babies are. So many babies fell down, and when I dared to speak to the person why he did so, it is such an important bird. He actually, I never had that situation before. That person was so reacting on me, yelling at me, and soon his neighbors joined and they surrounded me. They started whistling at me, clapping at me, and then that person started telling that, lady, you don't know that this bird is a bad omen, a disease-carrying pest, and you are lecturing us to save this bird. This is my tree, something like that. And then he also told that, why don't you join us as our housemate from tomorrow and clean the debris and excreta of the birds, because I have another tree, something like that. Then I just ignored those, and I was just trying to request them, say, let's please help the baby birds, we can still save them. Then a few of them, they started mocking me, telling that, oh, this lady actually, she came here to eat the meat of this Hargila, flesh of this Hargila, that's why she want to take them with her. So I wanted to rescue actually. And that day actually, when I came back home and when I saw this incident, actually I remembered my daughters, my babies. I actually, being a mother, it was very difficult for me to see this situation. And when I was coming back home on that day, on the way, I was thinking, so what I'm going to do with my PhD. So even if I couldn't motivate a few people, birds are away, but I couldn't even motivate the importance of tree, and I couldn't do anything. I was so helped. I thought myself as very useless. And what was the value of my master degree, my education? And then I realized that research would not be enough until and unless we could bring the wildlife, we could bring the species into the hearts and minds of the people. And that day actually I couldn't sleep at all. I had changes in me which I felt deeply. And next day early morning, I again landed the village. With my folded hand, I met the person and I requested him, Dada means my elder brother, Dada, please accept me as your family member. I want to clean the debris and excreta. I want to clean the entire village. If the birds makes your village messy, I want to clean and I want to be a part of your family member. And I realized that Dada means my elder brother, that Dada, he was so nice, he was so good. That incident might be different because people actually, I realized that there was a lack of awareness actually, but they are so nice actually, we cannot blame them. The problem is the lack of awareness. We have to bring awareness, we have to change the hearts and minds of the people. And so I think they're so nice, they are already connected, but that time maybe they might have some misunderstanding or something happened. And from that day actually, it was a restless journey that we all are moving forward, and it was a restless 24 hours 365 days I think campaign. And yeah, we became so restless. Every day we started working, and the more people told the Hargila, when I was visiting actually, the more people told that Hargila was a bad omen, disease carrying pest. Then I got more obsessed with the bird, more connected, and the solution came that this bird should be in the tradition, into the cultures. It should be a sacred bird. The more the people told that it is a bad omen, the more I got obsessed. The more there was a determination that this bird would be a part of cultures and traditions. So here again, I'm going to coming back again that the Hargila bird is an endangered bird, and technically more endangered than rhinos, tigers, and elephants. So actually, we often, our policymakers, everyone often, give much importance to our charismatic species, but we have so many lesser known species, unexplored, unexplored biodiversity, which needs our attention. And I request everyone to work for them also. And habitat loss, poaching, and poaching poisonings are the major threats. And yeah, and so I want to share this picture with all of you. And I think this picture tells everything, right? So you can see like everything means the problem, like how close the bird breeds. Actually, this way, actually, because the bird don't go to the protected area. So like other species, like many other species, they don't get government protection because they don't go to the national parks or sanctuaries or protected areas, and they come to the people's home and they select the tall trees, and once they come and select a tree, the tree become vulnerable. The people just cut down the tree. So that is the problem actually. And I think only the people, only the willingness and support of communities can save this bird from extinction. So then we did a pre-campaign survey why this bird was had a why this bird had such a bad reputation, and why the problem is so much with this bird. Actually, we often talk about other man-elephant conflict or other conflict, but this type of conflict, we actually, because it is related with communities, we never want to highlight also much. So just yeah. So yeah. So then we did. I did a survey, and then means door-to-door visit and survey, and I found that this messy smell, dead rotten foods was one of the reason. And then another main reason is that more than 50% of the baby birds fall down, and they are not, if they are not attended, they die and they get rotten, and it become a very big headache for people. And the birds were not attended by anyone or something like that, and this became a big headache for them, and people then get more smell, and people just want to cut down the trees to get rid of them. Then apart from these livelihood, incomes and income source by cutting down the trees were some other reasons. And then, as I have mentioned, that the more people told this as messy bird or smelly bird, the more the challenges came that it should be a symbol of culture, it should be a culture of tradition. So then this way, actually, we developed a PR plan, and started working with different stakeholders. And trust me, actually, nothing was planned, nothing was bookies, everything, that day, since the things the day I have began my journey, and it was a restless campaign, and nothing was planned. Everything I learned from them only, from communities, from their cultures, from their guidance only. Yeah. So first of the thing that I want to request all the people who like, all, if any youth are watching us, so I want to request them that being to be a part of communities, to be a member of communities, and being a part of them and making friendship. Although these things looks very small, but this has a big strong impact. So felicitating them in public, and trust me, the things that I have started this movement. I don't like to be introduced myself as a biologist, but I want to be introduced myself as a village member or maybe a Hargila Army. So yeah, so this is, I think, consistency and persistency is being persistent is so important. And once we start something with communities, I think we cannot stop. It should be a consistent movement. Then only we get the result. And now I am very proud to mention about our Hargila Army. And as I have mentioned, nothing was planned. Everything was a side effect only. And slowly we gave birth to a grassroots group called Hargila Army, all women army team. And we have now more than 10,000 women who have placed to be Hargila Army. All are homemakers, housewives, converted into conservationists. And I think that is incredible. And I'm so proud to mention about them. And daily basis, for example, if you come to our village and organize a meeting, we have 400 women as active forefront leaders. And I'm very proud to mention about them. And our Hargila Army, when, for example, I'm just here, I have a few Hargila Army, so they are so proud. They have a platform, actually. They, when we have a meeting for Hargila, so they forget all about their household course, and they just come to the meeting. And so and our Hargila Army, it becomes a brand, like the name Hargila Army. So like for example, we have Noni Baido, Saru Baido, Saraswati Baido here. So they are Hargila Army. So for example, Pratima Hargila Army. So they forget their title. They introduce themselves like for example, Noni Hargila Army, Pratima Hargila Army, Saraswati Hargila Army. So they are so proud actually, and it makes me feel very great actually. And then there might be a question, if there might be a question that if as if I am working only with women, but the answer is no. Actually, we are working with everyone. For example, this is a place program. So like our Sarubaido is doing a place with another Hargila Army. So when we have a pledge, when one Hargila Army pledge to be a Hargila Army, then her duty is, her promise is to bring her entire family to our movement. And this way actually, her husband, her children, everyone comes to our effort. And this way we are working with everyone. And we have always a motto that our environment education begins from our own home, and every Hargila Army is very concerned about that. And I must share this slide with all of you, and I'm very excited. We have a different module for creating awareness. For example, when I started my work and I organized meeting, I realized that our women members didn't come to the meeting. And when I asked them, they told that this is not our priority. This is actually, it is not, they don't like to come, but this is not their priority at all. They have to cook for their, family members. They have many household chores. And then a solution came. Then I start, because all the time they tell about the term cooking. So cooking, as I have mentioned, that everything I learned from them only. So I started organizing cooking competitions, cooking festivals, and our women started coming like anything. That means the idea became working, actually idea became hit. And then I always love to play web of life with them, and I started, actually our environment education started with this web of life. And and our women who didn't have voice earlier, they have such a strong voice, and web of life, actually it is one of the powerful tool. And I request all, if any youth members are watching us, so please, please do such kind of environment education. And it doesn't matter wherever I go, maybe to community members or school children, or maybe an international conference. I have always these strings with me, and I start playing instantly. And this is a different feeling I have realized. So so it is very powerful. And then I have a question. Have you ever attended a Hargila baby shower? And I think the answer would be no. So if no, then please come to Assam. Next month we are going to organize Hargila baby shower, and we celebrate Hargila baby shower, which in Assamese we call as Panchamrit ceremony. So we celebrate it exactly like the way we celebrate for our Assamese expecting mothers. And why actually what happened when earlier I realized that when birds were breeding, I realized that that either the birds were disturbed either by the by cutting down the tree, or maybe some people without knowledge smoked under the tree, and the breeding birds were disturbed. Then I realized that lecturing, people don't like lecturing. That's why a solution came. Actually, I was attending a God Bharai in Hindi called God Bharai, a Panchamrit ceremony. A baby shower of a woman in the village, and I realized that the woman got such a huge respect. Then I tried to relate it with our Hargila, and then this Hargila baby shower came, and now every year this is one of our biggest event, and we are very excited for our Hargila baby shower, which is going to happen next month. And we also use mythology and sometimes it is really very helpful, like mythology and using science, and at the same time using mythology of the birds, and especially on the traditional songs, folk songs, rituals, prayer halls, like we have special prayer halls, naam songs and all. And so and most of our meeting, actually, as I have mentioned, that everything was very organic. Like for example, they have their own prayer meetings at our naam, we call it as our naam ghar, and where I go and I keep starting awareness programs, and we don't need to invite much people also, because there is a huge gatherness. Many people come there, and there actually we started creating awareness, and we don't miss any opportunity, actually. And sometimes we also use the like stories, like storks carrying babies, and we had some colleagues made this, like when we requested, like when storks carrying babies, and so is this kind of stories and all we used to share with our people. And this is also one of the biggest event in our life. It is called Gita Bhagavat procession, and we march Hargila campaign or Hargila awareness into our Gita Bhagavat, where many people join, and this event is for peace. And when we could march Hargila with our Hargila Army, I think this is great, because now the bird which was treated as bad omen is a part of their cultures, their rituals. And so I'm very excited to share this Hargila headdress. We have many Hargila army, and we wear Hargila headdress. And this way we used to go from one village to another village, and we become very colorful and try to keep awareness. And this way many people came to our efforts, and we have a program called Communities Teaching Communities, and a drama group, and an educator group who educate another group, then another group educate another group. So actually this year we reach more and more people. And so we also do lots of pride campaigns. As I have mentioned, we go from one village to another village to create awareness. And we also go to, with our folded hands, we also go to the weddings in the villages and request them to create Hargila awareness in the weddings, because that is a very peaceful moment, and celebrations, and many people joins there. So it's a huge gatherness. But it doesn't mean that we get success. Sometimes people really reject us. Why we will have awareness in the wedding? Because it is this Hargila bird is it is a bad omen or something like that. But we are always very infectious, and we keep trying on. And now Hargila bird became a part of many weddings in the villages, in the Hargila villages in Assam. And so we never miss any opportunity, even in a government program. And we partner with government, like district administration, police. And I think a conservation project is successful when we can rope in, when we can partner, because they are the key stakeholders, and we should just assist them, I think. And so we work with them, and we collaborate with them. And especially like in Republic Day or in Independence Day, we have our tableaus, and our women go, and I'm coming to more programs. And I am also very proud to mention about our puppetry program. But for this we collaborate with our team member Drishana Kolita and her group. So this way actually we create awareness not only for Hargila but as a whole about biodiversity. And this way actually our team member Drishana tries to keep puppetry also among people, otherwise people will forget. So then again you can see lots of arts and paintings which are donated by volunteered by some organizations, international organizations. And I want to mention that in our conservation program, art is a major tool And I request all of you, like our future generation, if you want to, work for such project for species, so you can also try, you can also merge arts as a very important conservation tools, because it gives a very touch and feel factors for creating awareness, and it is very actually impactful. And I want to mention that our work is not only saving the bird, but also empowering women, children, communities, and more than that, social changes in the villages. And after Whitley Award, actually, we established a weaving center in the village, and our women could now produce more and more products. And so you can see our respectful gamusa, traditional gamusa, which we offer huge respect. And gamusa had a different flower. Now, Hargila also got a place in our this gamusa, and this gamusa with Hargila, made by our Hargila Army, is so famous globally. People want to buy this, and these are available online also, and this way they can get income. And you can see our Hargila Army, how proud they are, celebrating the beauty of the bird. At the same time, it's a success, I think, and we train them fashion diploma with collaboration in collaboration with Kamrup District Administration, and fashion diploma training, so that they can weave especially this Hargila motif into the handlooms and textiles. And during pandemic time, our women could produce more than 11,000 face masks, and this way actually we could support our communities, we could support the pandemic time also. And more than that, at that time also we created awareness, because these birds, we did by this Hargila bird motif face mask and other species like rhinos, tigers, in our textiles. And we also, many tourists also visit our women, or our like Hargila Mela, and they want to see the birds. They are excited to see the birds, and especially in the breeding season. And then, following all the protocols, our women guide them to show the birds. And so then our products, actually, they are available globally, like through this posuboxy.com, and people are supporting us by purchasing. And this way, actually, our women, they have a sustainable solution for this, for this conservation effort. And you can see our very young Hargila Army also. And we have a daily conservation mela, daily conservation stall, and our women lead there. And and people can go and see them. But during the pandemic time, especially last 6 months, we had to suffer a lot, actually. There was a huge problem also, and because of all these protocols and all, but we'll overcome this very soon. And again, coming back to to the awareness, I always request people doing such projects to avoid direct cash, and rather than that, we always try to give in-kind support like scholarships or rewards. And because we are from organization, we might not be able to do any cash. Maybe we have a project for 1 year, then next year we may not be able to give. Then there will be a huge conflict among communities. So because of that, we want to be very transparent and very clear. Whatever like reward and in-kind support or livelihood we give, we always try to mention and clearly that it is for 1 time or 2 times, whatever. And I request also to do, whoever, like if any youth wants to do such projects, I request them also to do this. I think it will be helpful. And we work a lot with our future generation, future leaders, and mold them in such days. And and we have a very holistic program with our children, and craft classes converted into Hargila classes. We have assembly, awareness in assembly, and we also try to create awareness with the children who live in garbage dump. And I'm sharing this picture because this picture tells me a lot. With the children living in garbage dump, actually they teach me a lot how to keep smiling in scarcity, and we are trying to do our best with our limited resource. to help them and our future generation. And here I'm just sharing our Honorable Governor of Assam addressing a meet, and we hosted an international conference, Women in NASA Network, where women from 13 countries joined, and our Hargila Army members were also part of that, along with many scientist women. They were also participants, and Hargila became a case study, a symbol, a symbol there in the entire conference. And so now I am again very proud to mention that it was a dream only, Hargila Learning Center, establishing a Hargila Learning Center with the aim to create awareness among underprivileged children was a dream, but it happened. And during pandemic time only, we established our Hargila Learning Center. And we have a big dream, although our Hargila Learning Center was very small. And here we have our Honorable Deputy Commissioner who inaugurated our Hargila Learning Center in a government school. And our idea is to create awareness among school children, among communities, but our main focus is to reach like much underprivileged families and underprivileged children with this Hargila Learning Center. But now it is closed due to protocols and all, but we will open, and we will open it very soon. And I request everyone to be a part of our Hargila Learning Center and support us how we can enhance it, because we just launched it and we need ideas, we need suggestions, any idea, any suggestions, any paintings, any games and environment education plannings, please share with us. And just a glimpse of our Hargila Learning Center. And we also create awareness for wetlands. We have in the villages, especially where we are working, we have 32 wetlands. And so here I'm just sharing a cartoon like in a leaflet. This is a girl called Dia. She was 4 years old when she saved a bird, and we made a poster out of all this, because she was actually Dia represents all the children. Just after I think bird, like even 1 or 2 years baby, they also when they see Hargila, they get excited actually, and this is the power of our Hargila Army women. Actually, I think it is the way they are educating them. And so this is Dia, and at 4-year-old she saved a bird, and we could release it successfully. And so Dia got a very big highlight, and she was felicitated by Deputy Commissioner in the launch of our Hargila Learning Center. And so we have lots of programs, environment education games, and this is in another colonies in Assam, like Nagaon, Morigaon. And so we have a program called Hargila Mitra, for like Friends of Stork. So we felicitate our children, and so we also partner with Kamrup Police, and then we have rescues. So we rescue programs, and we put nets under the nesting trees. The baby birds fall down and we rescue, and then we release them in the wild. And this picture inspires me a lot. This baby bird, you can imagine that this is a baby bird actually. So this is a 4 months baby bird. So how big is this, right? And so this way actually during pandemic time last year, we could release 46 successfully in the village. But sometimes it is very difficult, a huge conflict arise. For example, during the pandemic time, people started, some people from outside, they created rumors that Hargila bird might be related with COVID-19 or coronavirus. Then huge rumor actually, and again we do a lot, and again some some rumors can spoil everything. So the entire thing is at the same time very stressful also. So then we started, because as I have mentioned that many birds fall down naturally also, more than 50% sick. So then we started a program, our youths, with our youths. Then we started a burial program of the birds, and then people, we could calm down actually. Otherwise, people created a rumor that this bird, they related it with COVID-19 or something like that. And then again, I'm coming back to my research part. And I'm happy to mention that finally I did my PhD last year, and to do my study to do the study of breeding behavior of the bird, I often climb a 100 feet bamboo platform, and we have three bamboo platforms: 100 feet, 85 feet, 75 feet. So different sizes, and I climb there, I stay there, I camouflage myself and study the breeding behavior of the bird. And again, you can see on the right side what are the birds doing, what the birds are doing on the bamboo platforms. Yes, this is an artificial nest platform, and which we did experimentally from 2017. And this was the first time that first time for Hargila, an artificial nest platforms was tried, and then it was successful also. And this picture inspires me a lot. You can see that artificial nest platform and a baby bird. And through this, we could, like 5 baby birds could fly away successfully. And so results are rewarding, and tree owners developed ownership feeling. And Dodora Posura Singimari village is the largest breeding colony in the world. And people stopped cutting down the trees, and every year from this colony, 85 6 fly away successfully. And when we started, only 27 to 28 nests were there, but now we have actually, yeah, this was actually an old data, but I am going to mention about recent data. We have now more than now we have more than 250 nests in the entire village. So from 27 to 250 nests, it's a, I think everything is due to the support of our communities. And when they come forward, magic happens, I always tell. And so when people actually, wherever I go, people keeps asking me that, or telling me their stories, their insight, that about conservation. People or any youth, many youths I meet, they always think that conservation is something different, or conservation is complex, or yeah, so many questions regarding conservation. And I always tell that conservation is not a rocket science. It is all about people. It is all about nurturing our young minds. It is all about reaching hearts and minds of people. So I always tell them, and yeah, let's start this. And so trees are so powerful. Until and unless we work for Hargila, actually, we didn't know much about that Hargila bird was so rare, so endangered. So I want to give a message that, yeah, so maybe there might be many unexplored biodiversity in this kind of trees. So I request all our youth, future generation, to explore, and and try to save them, and try to work with people, and try to empower, or try to involve more and more women, especially rural women. And so I am available in my social media page as Stork Sister, maybe in Twitter or Facebook or Instagram. And we have a Hargila Army Facebook page also. You can follow us, and you can you can follow what's going on with us. And please support, please be a part of our movement. We all need your help. And thank you so much. Thanks to everyone, my donors, collaborators, villagers, everyone. And thanks a lot to Kalpabricks and everyone here. Thank you so much, Shruti, and everyone here for giving me this opportunity and honoring our Hargila bird in this way. Yeah, this is a special day in my life today. Thank you so much. So please allow me to stop share. And I think.
Thank you, Purnamaji. That was incredible what you shared, and the entire story of how it's come about. It's just mind blowing, and especially when it's all women led. It's truly empowering to see how it's happening. I have one question before we take on the other questions from we already have a list of questions from the participants. So we probably let them ask themselves. But I have one question before we go. Is how has the pandemic, starting from last year, impacted the work of Hargila Army and what has happened in the last 1 year?
Yeah, pandemic. So we have a mixed feeling. Initially, in the first lockdown period, many families got affected actually, and so then we tried to be very productive. And actually, as you know, Shruti, I am a biologist. I am not a fashion designer, so it's very difficult for me. But still, I was trying my best to work with them, and then we came with more and more ideas, and then our products became available online. And just after the first lockdown, when communications and all started, actually we could sell many more products, and then like whatever actually support we could give from our NGO side or something like that. So we tried to help. Then our women produced. They got lots of works also at the same time, like producing face masks, like more than 11,000 face masks. And at the same time, when these products were available online, people had a query from all over the world. So I think that was one of the best thing that happened in the first lockdown time. But at the same time, yes, many families got affected actually, and yeah, it's obvious, and it was very stressful for me actually. We had lots of resource crisis, but at the same time, actually, as I have mentioned that we had a nest fall season also in the first lockdown time. We had a nest fall season, and we had to work actually following the protocols and all. Yeah, it was really very tough. Then again in the second lockdown time, again at at that time also we had nest fall season, and at the nest fall season we have to be actually it is so actually painful time for us and very busy actually. At that time we don't have any time for others actually, and again during the second lockdown time it happened, and we tried our best so that no bird actually like is ignored or something like that. Then we collaborated with forest department, and again there was a huge problem at that time. There was bird flu, and actually we hand raised the bird. We transported earlier we transported the bird to Assam State Zoo, but a bird flu came, and the Assam State Zoo, due to basic protocols, they rejected. And then during this pandemic time again, actually, when the birds fell, it was very it's such a huge, you can imagine, I think, and it's such a huge bird, and they need support, and they need resource actually. And then so with many birds we hand raise in villages, and many birds a few birds we hand raise in a beat office in Assam Forest Department also, and they were also very helpful. And then we successfully, I think, released 40. Then after the 43 birds, and so it was successfully they were released. So then apart from Hargila Army, I would like to mention that one survey season where we do survey like census, it was affected. It was as a whole affected, but we tried to do our best. And in terms of income, I think we were very productive at that time. And one thing is that during this time, we, through this webinar and all, I could reach many more people all over the world, because I tried to attend many more webinars, taking this as an opportunity also. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Purnamaji. So maybe I can start by calling out the people who have asked the question, and they can unmute themselves and ask.
Yeah, and what about our Hargila Army? They can say something, or?
Yes. In fact, this is a question for all of them. If you can ask.
Yeah, but at least they should be with me. Yeah. So what will Hargila Army?
So, would you ask them the same question about how the pandemic has impacted them personally and as a group?
Yeah. Lockdown or কি কি করে lockdown এর সময় কেনকা problem হল তোমালোকৰ যে ফেমিলিটো বহুত এফেক্ট হৈ গ'ল 10th হাউচৰ সেইটো ক'ব পাৰা so Pratima's husband had a it's very painful actually Pratima's husband had a 10th house and from the first lockdown all the marriages stopped and it was their sole income so now she will tell কেনেকৈ অসমীয়াত কোৱা বা মই লকডাউনৰ সময়ত আমাৰ বহুত অসুবিধা হৈছে যে excuse me so any translator you have or do you have any translator?
We both from Assamese to English. If you could help us, Purnima ji, that would be.
Yeah, I can do it. Hindi poti mai bas na. ঠিক আছে মই কৈ দিম ঠিক আছে আমাৰ যেতিয়া লকডাউন সময়ত আমাৰ টেন হাউচ যেতিয়া আমাৰ নাইকিয়া হৈ গ'ল তেতিয়া মই গামোচা বিক্ৰী কৰি বহুত গামোচা বিক্ৰী কৰি মাছ বিক্ৰী কৰি মই বহুত উত্তীৰ্ণ হৈছো এই গামোচা হওক মাছ হওক যিবিলাক বস্তু মই বিক্ৰী কৰি মই লকডাউনত মই বহুত লাভৱান হৈছো আৰু মই এই হাৰগিলাৰ কাৰণে মই বহুত কষ্ট কৰিও ফল পাইছো কিন্তু লকডাউন সময়ত মোৰ যেতিয়া বাইদেৱে মোৰ ওচৰত নাথাকিলে হয় তেতিয়াহ'লে মই ঘৰখন চলিব নোৱাৰিলো হয় বাইদেৱে যিবিলাক সুবিধা দিছে মোক বহুত ভাল সুবিধা দিছে সেইকাৰণে আমি লকডাউনত চলিব পাৰিছো নহ'লে বহুত কষ্ট ভুগিব লগা হৈছিল ল'ৰা ছোৱালী দুটাকক এই বাইদেউৰ দ্বাৰাই বাইদেউ মোক বহুত সহায় কৰিছে মোৰ ছোৱালী দুজনীক মই স্কুলতে হওক টিউচনতে হওক বাইদেউৰ সহায় পাইছো অলপমান সেই সহায়ত মই বহুত লাভৱান হৈছো Yeah, actually, Pratima's husband actually had a 10th house, and then all the marriages stopped. Then it was very difficult for our family. Then I spoke to Pratima, and then so she started coming with many more designs. We started together, and then as I have mentioned, these things came online also. So then she was telling that she could survive. Just her family, like her she has 2 daughters and I'm just adding her husband has a huge respect for her now because she like from the first lockdown till now she has been actually solely just running the family and so everyone has a different story actually everyone was affected but everyone I'm just requesting Pratima because then lockdown is like because her family is related to marriage and all that's why I think I requested her and so I'm very happy now she's so empowered and she's leading just in this program also she's leading a lot and she has a daily conservation mela she leads that program also and she also lead another program for pregnant women like we educate pregnant women actually I didn't mention here actually some programs we don't share much so for pregnant women actually she creates environment education and she leads that program also so she is a leader and everyone is a leader but Pratima's family had a different problem actually during lockdown so I just requested
thank you Purnima. Then maybe we can ask the participants only if they want more questions from the Hargila Army and what.
Yeah. So and ours, this is our Saru Ido. She has a song. A few lines, I think she can do, or maybe so like if people want, so maybe we like that. Modari Bana Marika Hargila So hope we have not bothered you. So,
we want to know what does this song mean? What is the significance of this song and what does it mean?
Yeah, this is a prayer. Actually, they have prayer songs every Thursday and Monday at our Namghar, means prayer halls, where they go and everyone have to clap a certain rhythm, follow some rules and all. And we have some music also. And these are our own ritual songs, prayer songs, which they have to offer. Now they have merged Hargila bird into that and they offer that prayers. And in this, it is a pretty long song. So they have presented here the last paragraph. I'm mentioning as a paragraph only because so last part and this part, this song by Saru Baido, I am so amazed. She wrote herself, and this song, I am giving a presentation. So when she tells, it is like a presentation. Entire thing is there in her own way, and entire story about Hargila and how to protect, and also about our Hargila baby shower and all. But in this last line which they presented now, it is about Nodhoriba Namariba, means don't kill, don't hold, don't catch any bird, don't kill like Hargila bird, and Nodhoriba Namariba Hargila Sorai, then how they are related to God, and so many things and then they are requesting three owners to have ownership for this bird, to treat them as their children and not to cut down. So this way they did. So this way everyone could present. No, it's not possible that everyone could. So in this
really, I'm
they could present.
so glad Purnima ji, they all joined.
Yeah, this is really great. Yeah.
So we have, I'll call people who have asked the questions and they can unmute themselves and ask you and everyone else what their questions are. Yeah. So Shiva Shankar, if you can unmute yourself, you can ask. And if you can possibly switch on your video also so that Purnima ji can see you. Yeah.
Hello, ma'am.
Hello.
Am I audible? I want to ask about this. Is there any other potential habitats except Kamrup? You mentioned about Kamrup. In other districts of Assam, is there any potential habitat of the Hargilas?
Yeah, I have mentioned here that at the same time I'm also working. We have expanded our work in Nagaon and Morigaon district, but only a few trees actually. But yeah, but good thing is that actually earlier I had to address this, but I missed it actually. During the lockdown time, we got some great news, and yeah, I could go to some places also. So birds have expanded actually their colonies. So in Morigaon now, earlier we had only one colony. Now in Morigaon, we had 3 colonies, so they have expanded. And so in Nagaon also, we came to know about another colony. So, but in Nagaon, we have now only 2 trees. Then again, another area we came to know about 2 trees. But yeah, so yeah, so they are small in numbers, but still hope is there. They have expanded, and yeah, in some fragmented areas, we have now their new colonies, and we are already working with people there also. We have Hargila Army in Morigaon also, a group formed. So yeah, they are also working with us, and local organizations like ASU from Morigaon, they are taking active role in Morigaon, and this is great actually. They are doing, and I think the bird is in the safe hand because they are really dedicatedly working. Yeah, and may I know from where you are?
Actually, I'm from Assam only, but currently I'm at Kerala pursuing MS in wildlife.
Okay, so you are from Assam. Which part in Assam?
Sivsagar.
So Sivsagar. So you could understand. আমাৰ বাইদেউসকলে কি কৈছে আপুনি বুজি পাইছেনে? ন আপুনিতো বুজি পাইছে ন আমাৰ বাইদেউ গান গাইছিলে যে শুনিতো বুজি পাইছে ন আপুনি? You could understand.
There's a network issue. So,
Okay, no problem. Okay.
Thank you, Shiv Shankar ji, and thank you, Purnima ji. Next, we have Maria.
Hello, ma'am. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you, Maria?
I'm good, ma'am.
Yeah, can you switch on your camera? And if not possible, okay.
Oh, no, I can switch it on. Okay, I think that's the back camera. Sorry. Yeah. Hi, ma'am.
Hi.
So I wanted to ask that, like, when you were going about with the conservation efforts, like, did you face any political pressure or any intervention from political parties?
No, not like that. But during my journey, pressure, in terms of pressure, if I have to mention, I didn't get any political pressure so far. I always try to keep away myself from politics and all. So yeah, but yeah, sometimes yeah, some problems happens. But actually, I try to be so focused and try to ignore. But yeah, being a lady, actually, I had to suffer. I had to go through lots of gender discrimination or gender barrier actually. So yeah, it's very difficult, but once you are able to overcome, it's okay. But regarding political, yes, at some points some incident can, maybe I'll be in touch with you and I'll tell you personally. But as a whole, but it was not a big issue. I just ignored it. Yeah, maybe you can take my number and I'll just maybe I'd like to discuss with you some points. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
One more thing, like, what is it that drives you? Like, whenever you face any hardship or any hurdle, how do you overlook it, and like, how do you keep on moving? Is my question.
Yeah, hurdles means lots of hurdles comes in, in conservation effort, lots of hurdles. And yeah, every day I wake up with, just a challenge and sleep with a challenge. Yeah. But yeah, so what makes me positive? Maybe Hargila Army, and maybe the bird is so beautiful actually. The bird actually, I'm so connected, and I think my daughters actually. And when I think of them, like, no, we have to think about all our new generation, and we have to go on. But yeah, sometimes it is very difficult for me also to actually yeah. Then again, I resource energy myself, and I try to be very positive, and let's believe in conservation optimism, and yeah, it's happening actually, everything. And I have blessings from everyone, and this way actually.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Maria. Next, we have Nima. Nima, over to you.
Hello, Purnamaji and everybody else in the Hargila team. First of all, I just wanted to say congratulations and thank you for that lovely song. It was really inspiring presentation, the song itself.
Thank you so much.
Also, very inspiring your own personal story of being a young woman with young children, facing all the social hurdles, you and similar stories of other women. So it was very, very inspiring.
Thank you.
I had a question which you, I think, partially already answered about during the pandemic. But since when you started your presentation, you said one of the hurdles which people had was that the bird used to mess up the surroundings because they would bring bones and all the things which was unhygienic. So generally, how was this addressed? What is people's attitude towards it? How do they claim it? And secondly, how did you, the rumors about birds spreading the virus, how did you actually handle that, that fear that people were overcome with? How did you actually handle? Because we had incidents here where people went around killing the dogs on the streets. So it was as serious a fear as that. So how did you handle that?
Yeah. Actually, with that message only, we started. Like, for example, they are like the name itself says, or you know, they are scavenger, and we started telling people about the importance of the bird. Like, they are not disease carrying place. They actually, because of them, actually our environment is clean, and this way actually we can, you know, we can get rid of many diseases. So actually, in every awareness program, as you have seen, like right from a baby shower, or right from a wave of life, or right from every awareness program which we organize, maybe wetland awareness, or maybe school children awareness, or any, you know, we have lots of awareness. So in every program that thing was addressed, and even in the song you have listened. So it was just half part, but there also it was, you know, C address actually. So like, and then slowly people started the importance actually that it is our cleaner birds, and you know, it is our cleaners. They clean our environment. So they started you know, just forgetting that. And then when the bird became a part of rituals, like, you know, for example, you know, we actually, it is just an example, like we have many, like every event, like maybe we have Durga Puja, we have Lakshmi Puja, we have, so it's a part of, like, this become a part of that celebration. So we create awareness. For example, Lakshmi Puja, goddess Lakshmi. So actually every woman is supposed to be at home and offer prayers, and evening time, at night time, they, you know, in the prayer halls there is a huge gathering. And actually being from this Assamese culture, I am supposed to be at home, but what I do, I go to the village, and people mock me also. So you don't have a home, so you don't have a home, why this day you came? But actually, you know, initially in those days, actually, like, you know, just, yeah. So I just tried to be very, like, you know, just everywhere the Hargila bird should be there. And then we tried to do awareness program in you know, incorporating the bird as a goddess Lakshmi or something like that, like awareness program, and people started you know, loving the bird actually. And this way actually in every rituals and all. And then the bird came to our, for example, you can see my dress, I think, if my camera is on, so you can see the bird. So this bird became a tradition and culture. This is our traditional attire, traditional handloom. So yeah, so this became, I think this became one of the beautiful birds. So this way actually people started forgetting. But sometimes again the problem happened. Like example, during COVID time, people created rumors. Again, we have to work a lot. So these things will keep going on. But I'm very glad and you know, happy that, yeah, we could reduce that actually. Thank you, Nimaji. I hope I addressed your question.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Nima. The next question we have is from Bharat. If your internet allows you, if you can switch on your video also.
Thank you, Shruti. I try. I am actually logged in from my mobile. But I see. नमस्कार पूर्णिमा जी, धन्यवाद। बहुत बहुत अद्भुत आपका ये प्रेजेंटेशन है और हमें सुन के इतना अच्छा लगा। हमारा नाम भरत है, हम हैदराबाद से हैं और बहुत सारे असमीज हमारे मित्र है यहाँ पे हैदराबाद में। हमारा प्रश्न ये है कि एडजटेंट स्टॉर्क के प्रजाति पर विकास डेवलपमेंट प्रोजेक्ट्स के जो प्रभाव क्या पड़ते हैं उधर?
अच्छा, नमस्कार भारत जी, बहुत शुक्रिया। आपने हमारा प्रोग्राम आपको अच्छा लगा। मेरा हिंदी बहुत खराब है आई थिंक, बट स्टिल आई एम ट्राइंग। तो बहुत अच्छा लगा और थैंक यू। एंड असमीज मित्र है आपके साथ, बहुत अच्छा लगा सुन के। सो आई थिंक यू आर अटैच्ड विद असम। थैंक यू सो मच। सो आपका जो प्रश्न है बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट प्रश्न है। डेवलपमेंट प्रोजेक्ट के साथ हारगिला का बहुत मतलब डिस्टर्बेंस, मतलब बहुत विनष्ट हो सकता है। एंड दिस थिंग इज एक्चुअली taking my sleep all the time actually, you know, like lots of development project is going on now actually, like our cities like are expanding. They are touching the villages like anything actually. And where we are working also, those villages are also under threats actually, and from every side. But yeah, that is a big issue. But we are, yeah, but sometimes actually these issues actually we cannot address alone, because people want development also. So it's very difficult actually. We all have to stand together to create awareness about that. So but in terms of like wetlands are, and we all are like our army, and we all are trying to create awareness about wetlands, because wetlands are the very key factors for key components for our Hargila birds. So if wetlands are vanished, then the birds will leave those colonies also. So they are very wetland dependent, and wetlands are also under threat. So but we are trying, and so it's been long time that we have been trying our best to create awareness about those wetlands, and I can't say that we are 100% successful, but we are trying our best, and this way we are protecting our wetlands. But near future we have to take another holistic approach, very bold effort maybe, and we have to address these matters with government and all policymakers. And if some planners are watching us, or if government, I request all the planners, all the government policymakers, and all the NGO activists to come to one platform, and to come to one forum regarding these development projects, because we all are going to suffer with these, and our species, we are going to lose everything. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Purnimaji. Thanks, Bharat. I think we've done the questions, but I have a question for each one of you, and if you can you can also ask all the ones who are there, is what do Hargila mean for them, and what is the future for the Hargila Army altogether? So if each one of them can tell us, it will be great.
So আমার প্রত্যেকই অলপ কব হারগিলা মানে আপনার কানে হারগিলা কি হয়, হারগিলা আপনার মানে কি, যেনেকে আপনার কানে কি এটা শব্দ দি কব বা দুটা দি কব, প্লাস হারগিলা আৰ্মিৰ ভৱিষ্যত কি, এটা অলপ চমকে ক'লে হ'লে। Namaskar, I am Noli Rajbangshi from Hargila Army. बहुत lucky हूँ as a Hargila Army. Hargila is my heart. मैं जिस पावर से हम, जिस लेडी के पावर से हम हरगिला आर्मी में ज्वाइन हुआ था, उस लेडी को हमारी सभी हरगिला आर्मी के तरफ से सैल्यूट करती हूँ। सभी से मैं सैल्यूट करती हूँ मैम, और आप लोगों के साथ हमको जुड़ने के लिए बहुत बहुत थैंक यू। Hargila Army का आर्मी भविष्य बहुत भाले और
Hargila Army के भविष्य के बारे में बहुत उज्जवल है और हम 10,000 महिलाएं जुड़ चुके हैं इस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में और इस 10,000 लेडी को जोड़ने के लिए जो लेडी ने एक रस्सी से बांधकर रखा है उस लेडी को मैं सैल्यूट करती हूँ। ये कम बात नहीं है मैम, 10,000 लेडी को जोड़कर रखना ये कम बात नहीं है, ये बहुत बड़ी बात है हमारे लिए। हम कुकिंग से लेकर Hargila Army से ज्वाइन किया है, हमारे घर में हस्बैंड है, डॉटर है, हस्बैंड डॉटर, उस लोगों ने हमको जो सपोर्ट किया है क्या कहूँ मैं मैम आपको बहुत बड़ी हमको सपोर्ट मिला है और मैं very lucky person हूँ ऐसे Hargila Army।
Actually, we got so emotional. Everyone actually today is different day for us. Yeah. So, Aru kunbai kotteke kobo dise. Saru baido.
Namaskar. Mon naam Sarida. Moi Hargila Army সম্পাদিকা। মই Hargila ভাল পাওঁ। Hargila বিষয়ত মই নাম এটা ৰচনা কৰিছো। Hargila ইমান মৰম লাগে নিজৰ সন্তানৰ দৰে। Hargila সেইকাৰণে মই Hargila বিষয়ত নাম এটা ৰচনা কৰিছো।
Like Hargila is like child for her, and for Noni baido Hargila is like heart. Hargila is for child, like child for her. Bhobishot future to bhale aru etu
Hargila বিষয়তে আমাৰ নিৰ্ভৰ।
So like we are dependent on Hargila only, like our future।
साथी हूँ मैम, मैम ने हमको इंडिपेंडेंस होने के लिए जो नारी सबलीकरण के ऊपर जो कुछ किया है, वीविंग के ऊपर मशीन दे रहा है, उसके लिए मैम को बहुत थैंक्सफुल हूँ हम। और मैम को क्या कहूँ, मैम का दिल बहुत बड़ा है। मैम ने सभी को इंडिपेंडेंस होने के लिए सपोर्ट किया है, उसके कारण हस्बैंड के ऊपर निर्भर नहीं कर रहा है, इंडिपेंडेंस हो रहा है। हर लड़का लड़की को पढ़ने के लिए अपना जो इनकम है उस इनकम से मैम ने जो सहाय किया है उस इनकम से हमने लड़का लड़की को सपोर्ट किया है मैम पढ़ने से। और क्या कहूँ मैम के बारे में बहुत कुछ कहना है।
Thank you Noni baido। Hargila মানে আপোনালোকৰ কাৰণে Hargila কি মিনিং কৰে, কি যেনেকে কলে সন্তান আপোনাৰ কাৰণে কি মিনিং কৰিব আৰু Hargila আৰু ভৱিষ্যত কি।
নমস্কাৰ, মই Hargila Army সদস্য হয়। আমি Hargila কাৰণে জান প্ৰাণ এৰি দিব পাৰোঁ। ঘৰতে এনে ভাত চাহ বনাই থকাতকৈ বাইদেউ যদি যোৱা বুলি কয় আমি একেবাৰে ঘৰৰ পৰা ওলাই আহোঁ, আহি পেলাই বাইদেউৰ লগত গোটেই কথাখিনি আলোচনা কৰি চব Hargila কাৰণে কি কৰিব লাগে কি কৰিব নালাগে এইবোৰ আমি আলোচনা কৰোঁ। Hargila জান প্ৰাণ।
She said that Hargila is like life. Jan Pran means yeah, and like earlier she cooked at home, but now she came forward. So she is like she has a space now, something like that, yeah. So Aru Moni,
Namaskar. Namaskar. Mon naam Shri Kamini Das, মই Hargila Army hoy। আমাৰ Hargila একেবাৰে প্ৰাণ। আমি মানে আগতে নাজানিছিলোৱে, আমাৰ বাইদেউয়ে যেতিয়া পূৰ্ণিমা বাইদেউ ওলাই আহিলে নহয়, আহাৰ পিছত তাৰমানে Hargila যে এইটো ইমান ডাঙৰ চৰাই আমি যে মানে ভৱিষ্যতৰ ল'ৰা ছোৱালী হিন্দি চাবৰ কাৰণে জীয়াই ৰাখিব লাগিব, সেইকাৰণে বাইদেউ সেই কথাটো আমাক বুজাইছিলে আৰু সেই হিচাপে আমি ঘৰৰ পৰা ওলাই আহিছো। আৰু এই ঘৰৰ পৰা ওলাই অহাটো আমাৰ বাইদেউয়ে আনিছে। একচুৱেলি আমি তাৰমানে গাঁৱৰ মহিলা যে ঘৰতে ৰান্ধা বাঢ়া কৰি ফেলে খাৱা লোৱা আৰু মানে বাহিৰৰ হাৱা একোৱে নাজানিছিলো এতিয়া বাইদেউ আমাক যিমান আগবঢ়াই লৈ আনিছে সেই হিচাপে আমি বহুত সুখী আৰু ভৱিষ্যত বাইদেউ আৰু আগুৱাই লৈ যাব আমাক আমিও আগুৱাই লৈ যাম বাইদেউ আমাৰ আশীৰ্বাদ সদায় থাকিব বাইদেউৰ কাৰণে বাইদেউ আমি মানে যিখিনি মানে আমি ইনকাম কৰিছো ঘৰ আগতে সেইখিনি ইনকাম আমি পোৱা নাছিলো সুবিধাটো বাইদেউ যেতিয়া আহিল আমাৰ মাজত সেই সুবিধাখিনি আমি তাৰমানে পাই গলো তাৰমানে মিচিং দিলা মানে শাল বোৱা তাত মানে সেই শাল দিলা সূতা দিলা বাইদেৱে আমি সেই মানে সূতাই দি মানে শালবোৰ ঘৰতে কাপোৰ বিকিছো গামোচা বিকিছো চাদৰ মেখেলা বিকিছো সেইখিনি আমাৰ তাৰমানে আমাৰ হাজবেণ্ডো খুজিব নালাগে কাৰণে আমি নিজে কৰিব পাৰো সেইখিনি আমি ইনকাম আমি বাইদেউৰ পৰা পাইছো আমি নিজে ইনকাম কৰি মানে নিজৰ বস্তু খেতি যোগাৰ কৰিব কাৰণে মই নিজে মানে বাইদেউৰ পৰা খেতি অনুপ্ৰেৰণা পাইছো সেইকাৰণে বাইদেউক আমি বহুত ধন্যবাদ মই আৰু কি ক'ম আৰু বাইদেউ আমাৰ বিৰাট প্ৰাণ আৰু হালগিলাও আমাৰ প্ৰাণ ভৱিষ্যতে হ'ব বৰ্তমান চলিয়ে থাকিব আৰু হালগিলা আমাৰ বিৰাট মানে প্ৰাণ আৰু বাইদেউ আৰু
She is very optimistic about future, and she told that she was confined to home only with cookings and all, but now she has a life with Hargila and she loves Hargila so much and she has been empowered, she incomes a lot and run her family, something like that she told me. Yeah, so thank you. Lockdown
Hello ma'am. नमस्ते आपने पूछा है हरगिला आर्मी का हरगिला का भविष्य अच्छा ही होगा क्योंकि मैम जब हमारा यहाँ 2007 में आया था तो हरगिला का नेस्ट ओनली 7 था लेकिन 2020 में हरगिला का नेस्ट 250 हो गया हम लोग यही सोच रहे कि किस लिए इतना बढ़ गया मैम के वजह से नहीं जो विलुप्त तो हो गया नहीं हो गया देश में ये सब एक एक करके सब कुछ खत्म हो गया नेस भी नहीं था बर्ड भी नहीं था और हमारा पस्त्री भी नहीं था गस भी नहीं था एक साथ हमने जो कुछ भी किया हम शब्द में नहीं कर पाऊंगी क्योंकि जो भी किया वो सब तो हम लोगों का गांव वासियों ने सब लोगों ने देखा है एक ही इंसान है जो मैम है मैम की वजह से ये सब हुआ है फ्यूचर अच्छा ही होगा क्योंकि इतने लोग जुड़ गया पहले कम लोग था अभी 10,000 से भी ज्यादा लोग एक साथ हो गए सब कुछ आ गया बाहर जो किचन में था अभी यहाँ आपके साथ आ गई ये पता चल गया कि बहुत अच्छा ही होगा हरगिला का भविष्य
मोनी का एक ग्रुप है जिन्होंने बहुत फेस मास्क बनाया
लॉकडाउन में हम लोगों का चलना बहुत मुश्किल हो गया था क्योंकि हमारा साथी जो लोग है ना सिर्फ खेत करके चलाते थे बच्चे लोगों को हमने मैम ने कहा है कि ये आप लोगों को फेस मास्क करके आप लोग कुछ कर सकते हो हमने बोला है मैम ने हमको ट्रेनिंग दिया और ट्रेनिंग के वजह से हम लोगों ने फेस मास्क बेचकर 50,000 से भी ज्यादा कमाया 1 month 50 days से क्योंकि इतना हो गया था हमारा पड़ोसी का घर में इतना खराब हो गया था घर में चलने के लिए रोटी दाल सब्जी कुछ भी नहीं था लेकिन मैम के वजह से वो हमारा आसपास की परिवार को मिला है हम इसकी वजह से मैम को थैंक यू
मैं ललिता बसुआ हारगिला आर्मी है पूर्णिमा বাইদেউৰ উদ্যোগত গঢ়ি উঠা এই হাৰগিলা আৰ্মিৰ জৰিয়তে আমি ঘৰৰ ভিতৰৰ পৰা মানে আগতেতো আমি চুকৰ ভেকুলীৰ নিচিনাই আছিলো ঘৰৰ পাকঘৰতে ব্যস্ত আছিলো মানে পাকঘৰতে থাকিবলগীয়া এনেকুৱা বাইদেউৰ জৰিয়তে আমি ওলাই আহিবলৈ সুবিধাকণ পালো আৰু বাইদেউৰ জৰিয়তে স্বাৱলম্বিতাৰ দিশত মানে আমি গৈ আছো গোটেই দিনটোৱে বাইদেউৰ পৰা মানে মইতো বহুত নিজে মানে বহুত স্বাৱলম্বিতাৰ চাইছো মানে বাইদেউ মেচিন দিলে আৰু মই আগতে মেচিনটো পাৰিছিলো মানে চিলাই কৰিব পাৰিছিলো আকৌ বাইদেউ মই এটা মেচিন দিলে মই মানে আমাৰ ঘৰুৱা অলপমান
আৰ্থিকভাৱে আমি দুৰ্বল হয় আগতে মই মেচিন কিনিব পৰা নাছিলোঁ বাইদেউৰ মেচিনৰ পৰা মই নিজৰ কাপোৰ ঘৰৰখিনিৰ লগতে আনকো চিলাই কৰি এতিয়া মানে অলপমান স্বাৱলম্বিতা হৈছোঁ মানে আৰু এতিয়া মানে বাইদেউক মই মোৰ অনুভৱটো মই ভাষাৰে কৈ শেষ কৰিব নোৱাৰোঁ এনেকুৱা মানে মোৰ আৰু এতিয়া মই বেলেগক শিকাবও পাৰোঁ আৰু আমাৰ হাৰ্গিলাৰ মহিলাখিনিকো শিকাইছোঁ আৰু বাইদেউ তেওঁলোকক চাৰ্টিফিকেটটো দিব এতিয়া আৰু মানে এনেকুৱা আৰু হাৰ্গিলাৰ এই টিমটোতে জয়ী লাগি মানে কাম কৰি যায় বাইদেউৰ লগত গোটেই জীৱনটো কাম বুলি ভাবি আছোঁ
She wants to spend the entire life into this movement. So
বাইদেউ বহুত ভাল লাগে আমাৰ সেইকাৰণে বাইদেউ
thank you. So she wants to spend her entire life with this movement, and she has been so important. Actually, Lovita, she runs the school. Like we have a skill development training program where we give sewing machine training. So she is a teacher. So yeah, and so she feels very empowered with this, and yeah. So yeah, earlier actually, yeah, I must say she did, yeah. So now she has a strong voice actually, and I'm really very happy. And actually, we all have a very strong voice, but we need to know our skills and come forward actually, yeah. So thank you, Lovita. And then last actually, we have very young Hargila Army. Like we have many young Hargila Army, but she is one of them. Borokha. She is representing the youths. And Borokha kiman boyos etia?
21.
She is 21 years old lady. Borokha.
Namaste. মোৰ নাম শ্ৰী বৰহাৰাজ বাইদেউৰ পৰা বহুতখিনি আমি স্বাৱলম্বী হৈছোঁ কাপোৰ বিকি আৰু বাইদেউ মেচিন দিছিলে আমাক
she weaves actually, so she weaves. Yeah, that is actually one of the biggest thing.
বাৰ পৰা বহুত এক্সপিৰিয়েঞ্চ হৈছে কেনেকে জীৱনত আগুৱাই যাব লাগে বাই শিকাইছে
Hargila kiman bhal poa?
Hargila বহুত ভাল পোৱা আমি সাপোর্ট আছে Hargila হয় বাৰ হৈ সাপোর্ট হৈ আছে আমি
They're very cute actually. Yes. All are actually, they can't speak Hindi, and so there's a problem actually. But yeah, so they're saying
I am winner. We being winner.
Hargila.
Is there any, so Nima's asking, so if there is any video or film or anything that showcases this initiative or even where we can buy, if you can share it with all of us, we would also share it in our circles so that this is really inspiring, and I think it's also something we could also share where people can buy the various things that you've been selling, the masks and the gamcha, and if you could share it with all of us, I can also forward it in the various groups.
Yeah, I'll share it to you, and we have a documentary called Stork Saviors. So I'll share it to you, but there actually link is not there to buy, but I will send it separately so that you can share and support our Hargila Army.
Definitely.
So maybe that postboxy.com that I had mentioned. So maybe quickly I can maybe just postboxy, yeah, postboxy. You can search about Hargila Army that in postboxy.com. Yeah, so
Okay.
yeah, and then if you go to YouTube link and Stork Saviors, the Stork Saviors. So we have a documentary and the Stork Saviors. But separately I'll send it to you, Shruti. Yeah. So
yeah. I think with that we have come to the end of this session. I'm so happy, Punumaji and all the others who are part of the who managed to share what they have and the song, and it was just wonderful to have a good way to spend our Sunday afternoon, morning I'm so glad you had given us your time and energy into this and sharing your story, sharing everyone's story with us. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thanks a lot. Thank you. Bye-bye. Take care, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.